nearly at the 2-week point of this Major League Baseball regular season. Full opening day was 2 weeks from tomorrow ago. But every team around the bigs have now played at least double digits. We've seen at least 10 games and some more than that because the LA Dodgers and the San Diego Padres started very early this year in Seoul, South Korea. The Dodgers have played the most games, and at this moment, DRS, the Dodgers and the Yankees have the most wins, both with 10. The Dodgers on the road yesterday in Minneapolis, and what a pitching performance it was from Tyler Glasnow. Now a perfect 3-0 in a Dodgers uniform, 7 innings of work, shutout ball, only 3 hits, 14 strikeouts as the Dodgers knock off the Twins 6-3. LA wins as a -188 moneyline road favorite.
Yeah, getting those victories here when your starting pitcher is dominant is great for the Dodgers because we're expecting them to get even better in the rotation as the season progresses. And then who knows, Ben, what we're going to get at the trade deadline where they'll probably acquire the best pitcher in the available markets. Now you take a look at the Dodgers through the first 14 games, 10-4. That's about what we expected here, but doing it a little bit differently. No RBI here from Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, and Freddie Freeman, which disappointed me because I was banking on Freddie Freeman not going 1 for 5 with 3 strikeouts, but having the ability to plate one of those runners. But you get Will Smith recently signed to that big deal. Did you know he's hitting 400 on the season now and also getting 3 RBI here from James Outman, a younger player who came into this game going 2 for 4 at 175. So he steadily improved his number. I don't know what he's batting at 083 at that point. Goodness, but he strikes. But that's the ability of the Dodgers. This 1 through 9 in their lineup, you never get a break from it because we always look at the superstars up top, but that lineup has depth all the way through it with power and also speed. And the Minnesota Twins, decent ball club here, struggling a little bit in the early season at 3-6, but I didn't get any surprises in this game. Thought the Dodgers were the best team at a reasonable price, but also Glasnow coming over to the Dodgers and pitching extremely well, Ben, that's not a surprise at all. He's been doing that his entire career. The key is just keeping him healthy here, and the Dodgers got a great pitcher the rest of the way.
Yeah, they certainly did, who is perfect in a Dodgers uniform. Again, now 3-0 yesterday, his 4th start, because he started in Seoul. Will Smith, 3-run shot. We also had James Outman, 3-run bomb. All 9 runs yesterday, in fact, scored via the long ball. The Twins hit 3 home runs in the 8th, 2 in the 9th as well, leading us to an over of that total of 8 pregame, finishing with 9 runs. The Mets also had a rally in them yesterday late in the final 2 innings. The Mets played 5 in the 8th and the 9th combined, started by a Pete Alonso 3-run bomb in the top of the 8th. But the Braves do hold on for a bounce-back victory. The Amazons took game number 1 of this set in the ATL. The Braves hold on yesterday for a 6-5 win over New York.
Yeah, the Braves can hit, and you just go up and down that lineup. It seems like, again, we talk about the Dodgers. Maybe the best overall 1 through 9 in Major League Baseball is probably residing in Atlanta. You look at the game yesterday to start. I just talked about the Dodgers. First 3 guys who are the superstars in that lineup didn't produce all that much. We take a look at Acuna, 2 hits here. Albies, 2 hits. Riley, 2 hits. Followed by Olsen and Ozuna, also had hits there as well. This team is really good. It's a shame we're still waiting. I don't think we got that definitive answer back on Strider here from the MRIs and what they plan to do, which usually, good news, Ben, travels extremely quickly here. So I advise that maybe getting checked out for Strider isn't going all that well with 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th opinions right now on what can happen. That's going to be a big deal in the NL race. But the one thing that we do know is if Strider's not out there, you can get picked up by a hot batting lineup, and that's what Atlanta can do. That would be a devastating blow to maybe the best overall pitcher in the National League to be shelved for the entire year and into 2025. But if I'm just looking at the Atlanta Braves right now, they have no issues at the plate, and you're going to get to see a lot of higher-scoring games. Ben, we're not even in hitting season yet. We talked about yesterday, 60 degrees in Atlanta. Wait till that bad boy is 88 degrees with heavy humidity, and that Atlanta Braves lineup is cranking here. Should be fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. So in that leadoff spot, Ronald Acuna Jr. does score 3 runs yesterday. So the Dodgers enter the year as a very hefty favorite to win the National League West, -550. They've won the division 10 of the past 11 Major League Baseball seasons. Now the Dodgers -1,000 to win the National League West. The Braves were nearly a $3 odds-on favorite to win the NL East, now greater than $3 at -330. I know we have a Mark the Movement board for those National League division prices at this moment, nearly 2 weeks into this Major League Baseball season. So as it stands, DRS, in the National League West, the Dodgers the only team above 500, the Braves the only team above 500 in the NL East. Everybody in the National League Central 500 or better. The Cardinals entered the year as the favorites. They remain, but it's plus 210. Plus 210 for St. Louis. Bottom price, fifth and longest, is the Pittsburgh Pirates at plus 750. But the Buccos still the best mark in the National League Central. Now 9-3, though. They were up yesterday at home in PNC in one of our two-day baseball games against Detroit before the Tigers rally for a 5-3 win. The Tigers win outright as an underdog in Pittsburgh. They're 7-4. Pittsburgh still now 9-3.
Yeah, that's a good win for Detroit yesterday, but also you're right about that. I was watching that game live. It's like, hey, look at this, a 3-1 lead for the Buccos here in the ninth inning. They hold on, man. They're going to get their 10th win of the season. Well, that didn't happen yesterday, and they dropped to 9-3, which isn't bad. And I just want to preface this by saying, you look at the East, and you brought that up. Yeah, we expect the Braves to be in first place. The Phillies always floundering, some wins, some losses. They don't get it together typically till late in the season. But the one division, the Central, is we sort of bypass that. And you're right, that's pretty incredible that every single team, which includes the Cubs, the Reds, and the Cardinals, the Brewers, and the Pirates, all above at 500 or above here. That's playing good baseball to start the season, and somebody has to win that division, which means, Ben, when you do, you get home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs, so you get some pretty good prices. You see some of those numbers that you're looking at, you have to remind yourselves again, no matter what happens, one of those teams has to be in the playoffs, and they'll be at home. We'll see how it turns out, but that's fantastic. I was actually hoping for the Pirates to get that 10-2 they could have been if they held on yesterday with a couple-run lead in the ninth inning. Weren't able to do so, but the Central looking like a pretty good division early on here in April.
Listen, a long, long way to go. We're 11, 12 games into this Major League Baseball season. But for those wild card spots in the National League, maybe the Central is going to contend as opposed to the East that has the Phillies and the Mets. You would think the Marlins 1-11, as we'll show you in just a moment. But we start with Corbin Burnes yesterday, who, as a starter now for Baltimore, has been incredible. 3 outings that the Orioles have now won all 3. In Burnes himself, 2-0 with a 1.93 ERA. Yesterday, 7 innings of work, only giving up 2 hits and an earned run as the Orioles go on the road to Fenway and win 7-1 over the Red Sox. Baltimore was a minus 138 moneyline favorite, and behind a Burnes beauty on the bump yesterday, Baltimore picks up another win.
Yeah, and how about that? A first-inning home run for Boston, and Corbin Burnes said, yeah, that's basically just enough now. He's only allowed 1 more hit the rest of the way. No more runs, 6 Ks, and only 2 walks. This is what an ace is supposed to do, rejuvenize that top of the lineup, which he has done that. I'm impressed by the Baltimore Orioles, not because you take a look at the 6-4 record and it's not better. It's what the anticipation will be if Corbin Burnes is healthy throughout the remaining parts of the season. So you're bringing up young players that you think you can help the team. This is very un-Orioles-like at this point here, and maybe under a new ownership group, when you get down to the trade deadline, you're picking up even more pieces. It's a very bright future here for the Orioles, and that starts with making that acquisition for Burnes and him showing them, look, I'm going to be the ace here. Let's follow.
Everybody in the American League East, including the Red Sox, who are still just 7-4 this year, is at 500 or better. But the Yankees off to a tremendous start. They hold off the Miami Marlins yesterday 3-2 for their 10th victory of the year. The Yanks were the favorites in the East before the year got started. Now an odds-on favorite, minus 125. Reversal for the Houston Astros. They were an odds-on favorite in the American League West. Now it's plus money because the Astros are 4-8. The Mariners are 4-8. Both of those teams have worse marks than the Oakland Athletics, who are 4-7. In the Twins, 3 games below 500 at 3-6. The Guardians, 8-3. The Royals walking off at home against Houston yesterday. They're 7-4. The Tigers are 7-4 in the American League Central.